guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alice. I go by Hello Alice here on YouTube and I make art videos. And today I'm going to be talking to you about bullet journaling. I'm going to be setting up my 2018 bullet journal and I am going to be telling you kind of how I use it to keep organized, how I use it as an artist. I'm going to be showing you how I set it up and yeah, all of that good stuff. So hopefully you like this video. If you don't like it, please let me know. I want to hear feedback from you guys about what you want to see on my channel, but I have had quite a few people ask me about my bullet journal and ask me to make some bullet journaling videos, because I still consider it a creative and artistic thing to do. I decided to film this video. It seemed like a good one to do towards the end of the year. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up if you want to see more bullet journal videos, and maybe I'll do a couple plan with me's here and there, not every month, but you know, like every couple months. And if you don't like this video, please tell me that as well. So what is bullet journaling? Bullet journaling is a system of planning or scheduling or organizing your life, and at its very core all you really need is a blank sketch or blank notebook and a pen, and it involves using lists and bullets to keep things organized and essentially kind of creating your own planner. And there's so many different ways to do this. There's very creative people that use a lot of scrapbooking techniques, people that do lots of drawings and detailed work, people that have more of a minimalistic style, and then there are people that just stick to the bare bones, very basic lists. So I will link the bullet journal website down below if that's something that you want to check out and read a little bit more detail in, but it's basically a free-flowing system of planning that allows you to add in what you need and not have any of the stuff that you don't need. It also has a lot of room for creativity and decoration in it. If it's something you're interested in, like YouTube bullet journal setup, there's so many great videos on there, but I have found it very, very useful for helping me stay organized. I have never really had good luck with planners in the past because they've never had everything that I need on them. I like to make a lot of to-dos and lists, and bullet journaling is very focused on that, but you can also add in calendars and things like that, so you can really create it to be everything that you want it to be. So I got really into it this year. I started at the beginning of the year, kind of fell out of it, and then got back into it in August and have been doing it every month since August. It's December now, so I've been doing it consistently for a while, and I'm excited to move into 2018 with my bullet journal and actually set up my bullet journal kind of with a little bit more thought than my last one. So this was my last bullet journal, and for my new bullet journal I am actually going to be using, it's the same style of bullet journal. This I decorated and covered myself because I didn't like the color, but this is the Leuchtturm 1917 notebook with dotted pages. I got it in copper and it has 251 pages. They're numbered, it has an index. I don't really use my index that often, but I might use it a little bit more this year. These are highly recommended for bullet journaling because they have numbered pages, and bullet journaling does rely on having an index, so you can kind of have pages throughout, and then if you need to reference them, you go to the index to reference them. I also prefer dotted paper over gridded or lined because it's a lot more versatile in terms of drawing and setting up your pages. I think it's really, really helpful. So that's kind of a brief overview of bullet journaling. I will explain a little bit more as we dive into this and as I set it up. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into starting to set this up and telling you guys a little bit more about bullet journaling and how it works for me. Okay, so on the first page of my bullet journal, I'm going to start by setting up my key. Your key is really important and it should be close to the front. It's basically going to list out all of your bullets and what you're going to use to symbol whether something is completed. So I have a bullet for task completed, a bullet for migrated, a bullet for canceled, a bullet for in progress, and then I also have event, note, deadline, important, and inspiration. And throughout this bullet journal, I'm going to be using a bunch of different supplies, which I will link and list all down below. So those will all be down there, but I use a lot of like Crayola markers and some watercolors and some Pigma pens. The next page is just going to be my 2018 page, and I just decided to do this sort of, I don't know, galaxy-y, crystal-y, quartzy, I don't really know. It's just a bunch of watercolor colors that I like, that I put in a circle, and then I put gold around it. And then I painted 2018 on the top with white gouache. So this is my first page to symbolize that it's 2018. The next page that I'm going to set up is my yearly log or my future log. So this is basically going to be all of the months of 2018, and I will list all the months up top and I will have room down below to list any events. This is basically going to be a place for me to put birthdays, holidays, and important upcoming events, so things that are going to be more than like 1 month in advance. I'm also going to make my first mistake here. I made a lot of mistakes when setting this up, so you guys will get to see a lot of different ways to cover up mistakes. As you can see, I wrote March, June, April. I don't know. The first way that I tried to fix it was by covering it up with a piece of watercolor paper, but I ended up not liking how thick it made the page, and I felt like it didn't really stick very well. So what I ended up doing later, which you'll see in just a few moments, is I painted the entire page with white gouache to cover up what was underneath it, and then I stuck a page from my old bullet journal on top and then redid everything on there. So yeah, I decided to give each kind of season it's sort of its own color, but also kind of have it in a rainbow. So like October, November, December are cool, or like blues. July, August, September is pinks and purples. June, February, March is kind of greens, and then the summer is like yellows and reds. And then as you can see, I have the little mini calendars underneath, and then I've got loads of room underneath each spread to write events. This is called a vertical layout. In the past, I did a horizontal layout, but I had seen the vertical layout on Pinterest, and I really, really liked the idea of it, so I wanted to give that a go here. Then I decided to add in some gold highlights onto the days, the dates, the months, haha, that's the word, just to make them pop a little bit more from the watercolor background. The next page that I'm going to set up is my resolutions page and my bucket list page. So I have a little section for the resolutions that I'm going to make for 2018 and a section for kind of a bucket list. I didn't want to call it goals because I didn't want like that pressure, but it's just kind of things that I want to do in 2018. I also have this little printout, and I decided to write a little quote on it and then stick that in there. So I wrote live your best life, which is something I say all the time because Jenna Marbles shaved off her eyebrows and she was like, I'm living my best eyebrow life. And ever since then I've been like, yes, live my best life. So then over here, and by the way, I'm just going to mention this now, you'll see sometimes the pages jump around. That's because I didn't work on this in order, but I edited it so that it was in order just so that it was clear for you guys. So sometimes I would wait for something to dry and then work on the next page and then jump back. So you'll kind of see some of the pages jump around. But this next page is just movies, books, and TV. And again, I used little flags and then put a little thing underneath, and that's just a place for me to list things that I want to read or do in this year, read or watch in this year. This next page is a page that says remember, and again, I ended up really disliking this page and covering it up completely. But the point of this page is a place for me to write down dates to remember. So like, you know, you go to the doctor and they're like, when was the last time you were at the doctor? Or things like when you do like yearly subscriptions, like free subscriptions, you know, it's like a 60-day free trial, and then I can write the date that that free trial ends. So just kind of like dates to remember that aren't holidays and things like that. The page to the right, it says Bold Work. Bold is the company that I work for. I create a lot of tracking pages for my projects, and they're kind of scattered throughout. So I wanted a page that was kind of a key or a log so that I could reference all of those pages. So there's a page number where I can find the reference, and then I'd be able to write the description. I can really easily find the project page. What I'm working on now is a money log. I'm trying to take YouTube a bit more seriously this year, so I decided to track my income and my expenses for the year. So I just made a really simple way to track that. This would be good if you're an artist and you want to track your sales of your commissions, and the previous project page would also be a great way if you want to create project pages to track your current projects that you're working on. The next page that I'm creating is a growth tracker. I really did a lot of YouTube stuff. This setup, most people just stop after the yearly calendar or the future log, but I added in a lot of extra stuff because I found myself really wanting it. So I created a way for me to track my growth of my subscribers, my views, my average daily views, and my revenue throughout the entire year. I used to do this in my monthlies, but this way I can see everything all together instead of just 1 month compared to the previous month. So I just set that up simply, and this is again another way if you're an artist. A page like this could be really useful for tracking your social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr. If there's anything that you want to track the growth of, something like this could work really well. And I added another little picture that said stay strange. Then I decided to create a planning page where I could plan out all of my videos at a glance and see basically all of them and plan the whole year. So I wrote down every single Friday in the year and split it up by month. I actually did this before and made a big mistake, and one of the ways that I fixed that was I simply tore out the pages and started again because it wasn't really a mistake that could be fixed very easily. So I just tore them out and started again. So there's loads of different ways that you can fix mistakes if you make mistakes in your bullet journal. And then I added another little quote that I had printed out and used some washi tape to decorate it a little bit. The last page in the kind of Hello Alice YouTube section is a video ideas page, and this is just a kind of dumping ground for me to write all the future ideas for videos that I want to do so I don't forget, and so I have them all in the same place. Again, even if you don't make YouTube videos, this would be a great place for you to put ideas that you have for paintings or sketches, things that you want to do in the future. I am now working on my January cover page for the start of the month of January. I decided to go with a Northern Lights theme. So I did a quick little watercolor painting. I did this for December. I did a little watercolor and I really liked the way it looked. So I decided to do that again in January. In December, I also had a mini calendar on the front, and I originally planned on putting one here, but I couldn't really find a good place for it, so I didn't end up doing it. But I still really like how it looked. I used the gold to add in some stars and also to write January. Also, I'm not that great at lettering or anything like that. I'm not perfect at any of this. This is just something that helps me and that I enjoy doing. After this, I kind of jumped back and I had this blank page and I decided to write my morning and my evening routines, or what I want them to be. So I haven't actually filled that in yet because I want to give it a little bit of thought, but I'm really trying to get more of a routine in my life, and I thought this would be a good place for me to kind of keep track of what I want to see in a routine. So the next page is going to be my monthly, so I write the day and the date all the way down the center of the paper, and I highlight the weekends. That way I can split things up, so I'll usually do appointments and events on the left, or appointments like on the left, and then on the right I'll do things, events like holidays, birthdays, and reoccurring things like when my bills are due. So that way I can kind of split things up. I've also seen people split it up as like personal and YouTube. There's loads of different ways to split it up. I also wrote a little quote at the bottom. I wrote 365 days, and then I crossed out days and wrote chances instead because it's a new year, 365 chances. After my monthly kind of overview, I went over to my next page, and I have 3 sections on this page. I have a next month section where I just do a mini calendar and I write any important dates that are coming up in the next month. And then I have a chores tracker. The way I do my chores tracker is I just know how much I want to do, like how many times I want to do that chore that month, and I draw a little bubble for how many times I want that chore to get done instead of assigning it an exact date. And then I also have a little goals section where I can write some goals that I have for the entire month. And I also drew a little moon and a cloud in the corner of the goals section. Then I did a notes section. This is something that is different from my December spread. I decided I wanted an entire page to just write notes, write random stuff in, and I just used my Crayola fine tip markers to do some little stars. And then after that, I decided to do my mood tracker. I really like mood trackers in bullet journals. They're definitely a big thing that show up in a lot of bullet journals, and I find them really helpful. I do struggle with some mental illnesses, and it actually really helps me keep things in perspective because I will look back and be like, oh, I actually had way less bad days than I thought I did. So I really like that, and I think it's helpful for me to reflect on kind of the day and what my overall mood was. So for my mood tracker this month, I decided to do all of these little stars, and then each one will be colored in a certain color depending on the mood. And I just think they're so cute. I'm so excited about this. It's probably one of my favorite pages in this entire spread. And then I just used, again, my markers to color in over the top of the emotions, so I knew what color corresponded with what. The next one is my money tracker, and I copied this pretty much entirely from Amanda Rach Lee. This is exactly how she does her money tracker. It is simple and it works really well for me. The only thing that I've added is I added an ID section so that I can kind of identify what things go with what. I also have all the ideas and the descriptions written down on the left. I'm not really sure why there isn't a video of that. I don't know where that went. And then on the next page, I'm creating what I call my weekly overview. I really like these. It's basically an overview of my whole week. I have a little calendar there, and I'll highlight the specific week so I can kind of see where I am in the month. And I also have a mini tracker. Like I said, I prefer mini trackers over monthly trackers. I think they help me stay a little bit more accountable. And then I'll also kind of have a weekly overview where I can write events that are coming up, a next week section, and a notes section. And then the last thing that you're going to see when I turn the page is my weekly, and I am trying rolling weeklies again. So I just wrote the first and the second, the Monday and the Tuesday, and then as I fill it in, I will write Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys a final flip through. So this is the front with the copper. And then right on the inside is the key with all of my bullet points and stuff. And then 2018, my yearly calendar, and then the second half, my resolutions and my bucket list for the year, movies, books, and TV list for things to read, a remember page for important dates to remember, my key for my work for my company, a money log for my YouTube channel, a growth tracker for my YouTube for the year, and then a master planning list for all of my videos for 2018, and then a video ideas page as well, so I can just kind of write down ideas, and then what will be my morning and my evening routines. And then I have the January front page, like cover page, the month at a glance, next month, chores tracker and goals, and then a notes section, my mood tracker, my money tracker, and then the weekly overview for the first week of January and the beginning of the dailies. So yeah, that is the start of my 2018 bullet journal. Okay, so that is it. My bullet journal is set up for 2018. So exciting. If you liked the idea of bullet journaling and you want to learn more about it, like I said, I will link the bullet journal, the original website down below. Another amazing YouTuber that I absolutely adore that does bullet journaling is Amanda Rach Lee. She also does some art on her channel. She's so talented and has so many great ideas for bullet journaling, for weekly and monthly spreads. She has great ideas for fonts and typefaces and for banners and headers. I love her channel. I always go there for inspiration, so I will link her down below as well. You can also, like I said, YouTube or Pinterest bullet journal for ideas and for more information. Don't get overwhelmed. I find that it's very easy to get overwhelmed when you first start researching bullet journaling because so much of the stuff is so beautiful. I try to keep mine pretty, but something that can be set up and done quite quickly, because if I spend way too long on each spread, then I fall out of it and I don't use it. So for me, I've had to find a balance between letting out my creativity and also keeping it practical and functional. The thing that I love about bullet journaling is I can remove things that don't serve me. So if something isn't working for me, I don't do it anymore, and the next week or the next month, I just eliminate that. So for a little bit, I had a monthly tracker, and then I switched to a weekly tracker because I always forgot to go and check the monthly tracker. So, you know, if something doesn't work for you, you don't have to have it in there. You know, you can try things out, and if they don't work, you can throw them away, and that's the beauty of a bullet journal. So if you liked this video, like I said, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please let me know, do you want to see more bullet journal videos from me? Did you hate this? Is this, you're just like, no, I don't have any interest in this isn't helpful for me? I want to hear from you guys because that will help inform if this is something that I should start incorporating more into my channel, or if it's something that you guys just have no interest in. So please let me know down below. Yeah, come join the Wonderland fam today. It's a lot of fun, and follow me on my social media if you haven't already. And I'm pretty sure that is it. I'm excited for 2018. Happy holidays, happy Christmas for those of you who celebrate it. And yeah, that's pretty much this video. So thanks for watching, and as always, have a great rest of your day. Bye guys!